Welcome back, everyone. Of course, my voice, Julian. My name for the people who were just listening to is Mr. Nobody today. Tyler the Great. Tyler, you have anything you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tyler. I never do an introduction like that. I choose not to be perceived. Hello.
Like,
All right.
and then we have a good friend to the room. He's just a real great dude. The best Navy man ever. I don't know, but
Yeah, he's my fake father.
see,
That's also
like
true.
that.
I take
Like
care of
that.
my
So,
kids.
see, he has the evil plan of having a kid in every country.
No, we
We
retired
have.
that plan. We retired.
Oh, you retired. Oh, you only have to get in
Retirement
three
No,
kids,
we
right?
retired that plan. That is no
Oh,
longer.
retired. It's wrapped up. Okay, I appreciate that.
I'm glad he wrapped it up. We have Keyon.
I ain't never not wrapped it up. There's been a couple. So that's not the show. My
All
my
right,
name is
people.
Keyon. Pretty sure I'm a figment of almost everyone's imagination.
He literally believes we're in the Matrix. He's not joking, y'all.
Well, he disappears just as much as I
This
do.
is just really weird, bro. Both are just.
Somehow I should somehow mention that you're very funny. Remember the time we were all in the Tennessee trip and we all ended up being slaves somehow?
Wait, what happened?
No, because why did I forget about it until you brought it up?
We were enslaved?
We were slaves. You don't remember us?
You don't remember us making them pizza, singing them
Oh!
miracles?
Oh my god! I tried
That was us.
that. I pushed
That was
that
us.
back. Yeah, we were. Oh my
Yeah.
god! And she was like,
Julian
"You
is.
better not be singing along with them." I was like, "Oh my god, let her have fun."
I just want you to know that we were making pizzas, and all our light skinned friends made pizzas first. So us dark skinned people had to start holding it down for the roots.
Oh,
It was stupid. It was so stupid.
Woo!
we
And
were making jokes.
We actually really upset one of our friends' older sisters. It was really funny. It was
Which
really
is
funny, actually.
hilarious. Oh yeah, it's even funnier because her and her sister are different shades. Oh my god!
It's funny. It's funny, actually.
But let's kind of get into the show. Keyon, how was your last 7 days?
The last 7 days.
Last 7 days.
Rough, but I've been taking it a day by day. I actually got therapy coming up too. I do support that, even though Black people don't. But yes, I am feeling better. I'll be honest, I'm feeling better. And you're all 7 days.
Guess I'll go next. My last 7 days have been trending upward. I think I've been doing some stuff, working with my dad. So that's going pretty good, trending up. We in there. So yeah, that working, spending money that, and waiting for the checks to come next week. So we could just pay more bills just like we did last check. Actually, I need to buy new controllers. My controllers started like disconnecting from my Xbox randomly. Like I was trying to play Apex, and at certain points it would disconnect so much, like I couldn't even play the game. Like I was playing it really good, like a whole bunch of matches, and then it was like disconnect, and then I was like, okay, maybe it'll reconnect again. Then it'll be like disconnect, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. This is it for tonight.
Like you were too good. You were too good. The game said no, you're cheating.
I really think we just kick the controllers off the bed too often, and it's just become one of those things where it's a problem and it's cute, until it's not cute. And now you're like, maybe that actually harmed the controller. So that's where I'm at right now. How about y'all?
Oh, I need to get a second controller too, just in case I ever have company over. It's like, hey, I have two.
Check out the pawn shops.
The who?
The pawn shops. That's where I got my second controller for my PS4, because our systems are getting to the point or old enough where they're not that expensive at pawn shops. Shit, even GameStop.
Got you. Definitely have to keep that in mind. But other than that, this is like for the past 7-ish days. This is actually like the first weekend that I had to actually like relax and everything, because the second job and everything. That took up my weekends. When I left, I was still with my family, crews and everything. Have to wake up had to either go to sleep early and or wake up early. So this last weekend was really enjoyable because I just got to truly enjoy the weekend for what it was. Other than that, gotta be, dealing with the union. My supervisor and told me, he's like, we gonna see what we can do for me. So stick around, find out about that. No, that's truly it. If you end up liking this episode or you like any of the past episodes, tell someone about it. That's just me, promoting the show on the show. But
I feel like the whole thing, our whole vibe is promotional because we're a good vibe. There's such a good vibe that you want to share it with the people that you know.
Exactly. Just one person, just one other person. And also, Keyon, I'm very glad that you said you're doing better. Like, I need to get into therapy, and I plan to with the situation that you know about, and just all of 2023. Really, 2023 has been redacted for me.
Yeah, you can check out that. Check out your local like support groups because those are usually ran by therapists or like psychiatrists. So, and those are usually free.
Look,
I was gonna say it's free if you go through at least my current job and my last job. If you have an employee assistance program, you can get like a free counseling session. Like if you're really in crisis, it's for anybody who also has like a little job. I mean, I feel like they always tell you about it in your benefits thing, but people don't normally use it. But literally, free therapist, and then like you get a free consultation for a therapist too, so they could help you get one, and they'll be like within your network and stuff. I think so. Yeah. But I'm in between right now because my insurance card hasn't been updated yet. So hopefully,
you
they
did tell me
stop
about
playing with me. Yeah. So
that. They don't want to see you happy.
I haven't been back in a while, and it's been a tough while. But me and Janora are gonna have some words. Anyways. Shout out to you, girl. Janora, my therapist. Shout out to her. She keep me right.
I like to hear it. I like to hear it. And that's all you have to say on your 7 days, Keyon? Nothing else?
I found out that my blood sugar is pretty high, so I'm kind of cutting back on certain things. I gotta cut back on sugar, on certain sweets, refined. So sugary beverages, cakes, cookies, candy. Also limit portion sizes of refined carbohydrates such as white bread, white rice, and white pasta. I'm like, gosh dang. I know it because I've been out of the gym due to the last year, like months. So I was like, just kind of get it back together. But I'm getting back in the gym lately, do my stuff right. I'm trying to just get back in the swing of things so I'm not too lost in the world.
Got you. I actually need to get my blood drawn at some point and do all of that as well. Get back into the gym and everything. But that will be
black men be dying because they don't be going to get medicine.
That is true. That is very true. Keyon, you looked at the list of questions that we have, and you picked a question. What is that question?
Do you trust others, your friends, family, strangers, and yourself?
All of the above, huh?
I mean, that was the question.
Was it really the question? Was it all?
Look at that. But it is very good that you have enough questions to where you're forgetting them. That is good. That means there's like a good archive.
Yeah. It's deep, and there's actually a lot more back there that I have not added to this list yet. But where do we begin? Where do you want to start? I'll let you start. How go from there?
Of course, my family. Yeah, I mean not all of them too much because you can love some people from afar. But the friends I made.
I'm sorry, Julian's face.
Just let you know. Don't you ever think?
Because Julian immediately made a face. I was like, he right though.
I'm like 500,000 years old in my mind. It's like, you can love some people from afar. You don't always need to be. You can love somebody, but they just don't have to be directly in your life. But before I get carried on to one topic to another, what's it called? Tangent. If we're going to tangent.
We can go on tangents here. We can easily go. I'm going to cut it out anyway. But no, go.
Cut it out. He said you can
it's not making the final cut. But
it's clipped. It's clipped anyhow.
Not everyone that you are related needs to be in your life 100, maybe even 50%. Let's be real. There's a lot of people in your life that you know that whether it be their animosity, their thoughts of you, or how they think you are, can be kind of damaging to your development. And I don't think that's good to just always have them around. Then a reunion, maybe see them. Shoot, they probably barely know what's going on in your life anyway. If you're making more calls to them than they are to you, shoot, my sister just told me, stop trying to talk to these few people in my family because you said, Keyon, you stop calling them because they have not called you and you've always been trying to get next to them. I was like, you know what? All right. She's right. Also, my sister, she's like, that's one of my big heroes right there, along with my mom. So I'm gonna do what they say. Yeah. Friends, I do got them here. I used to not have a lot of friends, believe it or not. I was very bullied, very trauma bullied when I would be like, no, the ones that I've made kept this long, call me. I reached out to them, wrote me letters while I was deployed, care packages, people that genuinely like check up on me and I check up on them, and they want you in your life and they want to be in your life and vice versa. Those are the good ones. Like my daughter here, my friend Julie.
Yeah.
Strangers, bro. Strangers are weird. It is very easy to just divulge some extremely deep, threatening secrets to some random person that you've never met. I've told some people some things, but not too much to where I'm like, that's incriminating. Shoot, Nay, old girl. She has gained my trust, but there's still just things. We are still different people, a lot of different places. Very strange lady, which is pretty cool time. The biggest question there is myself. Ooh. Well, I mean, the other one is like, do you trust people you used to be friends with or you used to know? There's a reason why you tell them you used to know them. Lowe's girl. Oh, gotta talk about that one. But myself, that's a hard one. I'd like to think I trust in like a good amount of decisions I make for myself, but so far so good. But there's also times where you just go back on your own promises to yourself, but you gotta make sure that you stay on track. I've been talking for a minute. I dialogue.
Look, I wasn't gonna interrupt you. I was just like, all right, I'll just let you go when you go, and when I get to speak, I get to speak.
Yeah, you was down the list for real.
I'll take this one. At least for do you trust yourself? I don't know how I'm gonna go about these questions, but that's the one I want to kind of hit on first. I do. I do trust myself, but I have to come to the realization that the version of myself that I like to think I am isn't either the healthiest or I need to change. What I mean by that is I always see myself as the person who holds like whatever situation going on. Like I'm the glue to friendships and everything. Friendships, family, whatever. But in these recent years, I've been shown from just experience that that's not a role that I should take on all the time. Rather, I'm not in the situation to where I can't speak on whatever's going on, or I'm just not physically there to be someone's support system, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then it also stems from I have to rearrange how I choose my friends because not everyone's supposed to be around forever. And I have to work on that.
Never lie, bro.
I respect that. To me, it's so funny because when y'all talk about trust, I be thinking, do I trust someone like fix a car? With strangers aspect, I feel like we trust strangers all the time. Just because if they say they're an expert or they say they have a skill, you have to give them a certain level of trust of, I don't know this person, but I hope that I trust that they probably do know what they're talking about. So we're constantly having to trust strangers. So I'd say yes and no. It's like a skeptical level of trust. Once I kind of know, like, okay, I can trust that they do this. When they said that they do the thing, they actually do it, or something like that. You're still earning trust, but there's already like a built-in trust when you first meet a stranger until they show you otherwise. So I feel like we inherently have trust in a way of strangers. So there's that. And then, but I feel like trusting strangers with your secrets, I don't think that's really trust when a stranger tells you secrets about them, because it's like they trust, the only thing that they trust is that they're not going to see you again. Like, you can trust that you don't know this person and you've probably never seen them again, or you're probably never going to see them again in life because this is the first time you ever seen them, and this is probably the last time you're going to be in whatever space you're in, or in somewhere rotating space where you just never see the same people at the same time. That's the only thing I trust. So it's like, I trust that because of my nature, I'm not seeing you again. So I trust you to not remember me again if you ever see me in life because I told you this random one-off thing. So that, to me, like, not a trust. I think more of a trust is when, going to a mechanic, going to a restaurant, trusting that somebody is in the chef. If some chef is in the back cooking and not spitting my food, that's trust.
True. Yeah, and I was definitely thinking with strangers, you definitely have to trust strangers because that's by nature what we have to do to a certain degree.
That's like how societies work. Like, you kind of just have to trust that, or you have to accept that you trust that you can't trust anybody, and then that's the only thing that you trust. But still, you trust strangers you trust to not know them. Like, there's a built-in level of trust of, I expect nothing because I don't know this person, and so I trust that whatever I want to do inherently doesn't matter at the end of the day because this is a stranger.
Top trust you'll ever have is when you're playing a video game and you all multiplayer and somebody starts doing a bunch of crouches in front of you.
No, literally.
With my life. With my life.
I feel like every time when I drop it, like, anytime you go into Apex and then, like, you have a third person or you're the only person, all of that stuff, you just gotta trust that they pick your banner up or pick you up if you fall on the ground. You don't know what the heck gonna happen. But after they do that one thing, you trust them. It's like, with a stranger, it's like all you have to do is like one thing and boom, trust is established. So it's kind of funny how easy it is to trust strangers based on their actions and like what they do. So I think that's kind of like a funny thing to think about.
Yeah, no. And unfortunately, with the world that we live in, people definitely know how to take advantage of people's trust because last year, actually, right? Somewhere in the beginning of the year, probably actually a year ago, I'm working on my finances and everything, trying to, save money and whatnot. And I can't remember what happened, but mind you, there were so many red flags going off. I should have known, but I was like, oh, I'm in the mindset of saving money. But basically, I get a call one day saying Geek Squad. Something was Geek Squad. Not the actual Geek Squad. Let me make that very clear. He's like, oh, by the way, your service or something is expired or whatever. And usually I'm like, I didn't sign up for anything like this. But months prior, me and my dad did actually sign up for something. So I'm like, oh, this seems legit for me. Whatever, cool. They said, oh, this was a mistake. And then something happened to where they's like, oh, we accidentally sent you too much money. And like, we just need to get this back. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. What do I need to do? There's like, oh, let's access your computer. Let me see what's going on, blase. And it was like, all right, cool. How about to get the money back, just buy 100, like put the money on a gift card, right? So I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. That's no problem. Like, it's not my money anyway. I'm just returning it, whatever, right? And he's like, don't leave the phone call, blah, blah, blah. If anyone asks, don't tell you about it, stuff like that. Luckily, nothing went right for this. Because here I am, going down to the CVS. It's like, oh yeah, let me just put this on the gift card and everything. Of course, the person's like, oh yeah, say this. Don't tell him this. I'm friends with the cashier and everything. So he's like, we can't do this. I'm like, all right, cool. And then my sister comes around. I put him on mute. Oh, throughout this whole time, I'm calling my bank too. He's on the other end. I'm like, oh no, there's no one here. Oh, me just being stupid and whatnot. But I'm like, I'm just trying to do the right thing and whatnot. Didn't go through. Come to find out, when I get to my Wells Fargo bank, just to, help him out and everything, all my money from my checkings account, from my savings account, was moved to my checkings account. And because again, I didn't have the money to even do that to begin with. But seeing that, I was like, all right, yeah, so long story short, they didn't get the money. I had to switch bank accounts, and that was just the end of that story. So that was, like I said, if I remember fully, there's more stuff that's like, how did you not see this going on? But it's very easy to say that outside looking in. When I was in it, not so much. but which is actually a really funny thing too, right? Because I went to Best Buy to have my computer checked up and everything because I'm not a computer person, and they was like, oh yeah, to get it like scanned and everything, it'll be $100 something, like maybe $200. I don't have that type of money. But someone hears me around and everything, and he's asking me all these questions. It's like, all right, cool. I'm walking out. He's following me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the train station. What you doing? He's like, oh no, this is a good spot. I'm like, what you mean? Look, let me see your laptop. I'm gonna fix this. And he basically reset my laptops to where if anything was put on, it cleared it. I'm like, oh, works for me. And like I double checked it and everything. Like, oh, this works. I'm like, and so I just find it's kind of funny that I trust stranger twice and two different outcomes showed up because he definitely gave me the peace of mind of I can at least use my laptop.
You trust a back alley person to help you fix your laptop and it worked out. That's crazy to stuff.
I'm saying like he was just happened to be in the Best Buy at that time and overheard my story because he was like, no, I see people come in here all the time. I'm like, I'm able to do it. It's just I just can't get the job here. I'm like, oh, okay.
Bro's just Batman.
Why couldn't he get a job there? That's crazy.
I truly can't remember, but I'm pretty sure he was doing something illegal on his own side thing too.
Yeah,
but he was doing something illegal with, he was helping me out, so he's good.
But he had skills. I mean,
obviously knows what he's doing.
He knew what he was doing. Yeah, because he said he went to.
He probably ran into a hacker for real.
I don't know, but like I said, he's like, no, I went to school for this and everything. This is what I just do for fun. Like I just want to help people. I'm like, oh, works for me.
That's what's up.
If you ever find me, tell him I'll do my best to find him whatever job he wants.
No, literally, because what? Hey,
yeah, no name, no nothing. It's just he just decided to help me.
You saying you met another Mr. Nobody?
Another Mr. Nobody.
Another gray man. Another gray man.
We nobodies like to help people.
I can't. But see, situations like that make people feel like they don't trust themselves. So now I'm wrapping it back. So trust them. Anyway, I'm sorry. I felt like a mastermind doing that just now. Anyway, but I feel like trusting yourself is talking about like, your intuition when you feeling stuff out. And I'm getting there now. I feel like I didn't have that before as much. Like I was kind of doing it, but then it was like certain things, it's easier. You know how some things feel more than other things? Like you have certain things and aspects of your life where you're like, oh, I know exactly like what I'm feeling about this right now, how it's going to work. I can envision in my head. And then when you can't do that, it's like harder to lean back on that trust in yourself. But it's always there. Like that innate intuition on the other stuff is always there. Are you too clouded to like feel it? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now I'm starting to trust myself more because I'm starting to understand like it feels like an intuition and then like maybe what's actually just a fear, a bias, and kind of feeling like, okay, can I point it out and can I see like, is this a bias that's actually helpful right now or harmful right now? And trying to like do that. So also I think trusting yourself to also sift through your own kind of like flaws is a big part of trusting yourself too. Because we all got blind spots. We literally all have blind spots. It just is what it is. Like trusting yourself is understanding where your blind spots are and trying to like see kind of like, okay, if I can see past whatever kind of flaw is presenting itself right now, because I can tell like for me personally is a blind spot. I gotta take the extra steps to remove the other layers so I could actually like trust myself fully to the best decision for myself. For me now, I'd be like, oh yeah, I trust myself. But like me before was not trusting myself. You know what I mean? Was just vibing out in the world. Now I'm vibing out in the world, but with more trust in myself.
That's what's up. Keyon, you've been kind of quiet over there. I know you've been, respectful and everything. You got any thoughts or anything?
She is right. Knowing your own flaws and everything. Trusting yourself. And a little thing I caught on her is that business jargon. Let me piggyback off Tyler there. Self-reflection is very important when you're trying to figure out how you can trust yourself and what. Because sometimes you're going to need to ask people for like, hey, I need your opinion, your input on this. But there's a thing, you have to check yourself and make sure that you are going to be able to check yourself. Going throughout life in general, when you want to trust yourself, like I have to tell myself the truth more than anything, more than anyone, because I go being delusional with myself through my own eyes in the world, it's gonna be a bad time. Like there's a lot of people that are just angry at the world. Like imagine me yelling at I'm working drive through and somebody's yelling at me for something so little. Their life sucks. And I'm gonna tell you why. Their life sucks because they're yelling at you over the smallest thing. And imagine if that small thing was their fault too. They just didn't tell us. That their life sucks because it is easier for me to yell at you and be angry at you than to look at myself and say, you know what, I might be the problem here. This is one of those things.
Yeah, no,
That's
you're right, because working my second job and everything, I tell people all the time. Well, I was telling the people when I was working with, the customers are never going to get on my nerves, like ever. I don't get paid enough for you to, affect my peace of mind. Like that was out the question. Now the people that I worked with, now you might get on my mind because now I actually have to deal with you. But other than that, there was I'm like, I kid you not, this is exactly how the situation was go, right? Me doing my own thing, whatever, getting ice cream, getting a smoothie, getting a slushy, whatever. Someone's like, hey, my food's cold or whatever. I'm like, oh, let me see it, let me check it, whatever. It's like, I want a refund. I'm like, we don't do refunds. It's like, no, I want a refund. I'm like, I want to speak to the manager. All right, cool. She's going to tell you the same exact thing I told you. And I'm just going to walk away. That is because at the end of the day, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I know this about me working this. You cannot get your food for an hour and a half, but I will still at least do the best that I can, to where I had people who's like, even though I've been waiting, they was like, you're very pleasant. So I'm like, I would also, look out for people and everything. Like if you had a family or like a whole bunch of kids, I would look out to the best of my ability that I can do. So I'm like, if you just want to yell at me, he's like, oh, I want to speak to the manager. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll walk away. You won't. Or he's like, oh, I don't want to speak to the manager. I just want to yell at you. I'm like, all right, cool. You won't see me. See you. I won't say a thing. I just walk away.
No, because you're speaking to something real. Because it made me. That was another thing that I was thinking. I was like, if you really like trust yourself, then you don't need to do too much in like certain situations and stuff like that. Or like you can trust yourself to, okay, I've done what I can and I don't have to do nothing else after. It also helps with, then you can trust. I feel like everything else, like all the other people in your life you trust, is really based on how much you trust yourself. Is how you trust them. Because if you don't trust yourself, you don't trust nobody else, because you don't think anybody trusts themselves for real. You think anybody who really trusts themselves and really is real with themselves, like you can't believe it because you don't have that inner trust within yourself either. So I think that's like really big. It's almost like how people be like, if you don't love yourself, you can't love other people properly. I feel like it's the same thing with trust. Trust and love, I feel like distant, like indifferent cousins. You know what I'm saying? If you trust and you love in yourself, you can trust and love on other people. But, then you actually know what it looks like when someone does love or trust themselves. So you don't have to feel like crazy trusting them or loving them. And that's how that goes.
Yeah, no, and that's something that I've caught myself just mentally. I've always been able to trust myself. Like I trust, and then let's just say doubt. Like I never once doubted myself whatsoever, but due to certain events, I'm starting to doubt myself. But the voice in my head that's saying like, oh, this won't work or whatever, isn't in my voice. It's in the voice of other people. And I'm like, I need to, now that I've at least recognized it, I'm like, I need to fix this like immediately because I can't live like this.
I mean, that's fair. I feel like a lot of mistrust in ourselves does come from other people. I feel like a lot of times it is that little voice in your head, but normally you can tie back whatever that little voice in your head is saying back to probably what someone else said to you before, or like a fear or insecurity or something like that. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, good conversation. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, like I said, it's a conversation. We never know where we're gonna get into. This is a lot more than I thought I was gonna share today, but it is what it is.
when you have that voice of self-doubt, have you ever been able to name the
I know exactly who this voice is.
For me personally, yes and no. It depends. It depends on what it's about. Like sometimes, when your parents have told you stuff multiple times, like I can hear if it's like my mom or my dad probably. And sometimes it almost sounds like myself, and I'd be like, nah, I play myself. That's my mom or my dad. Because you've been around them. It almost starts to feel like it is your voice in your head. And you'd be like, no, that's them. That's them.
That's them. This is the Tyler here. I'm like, nah, you got this.
Right.
Oh, man, I actually wanted to tell this to a different friend earlier today. They were saying that their voice in their head is like always bringing them down and everything. And I really wanted to scream, whoa, stop listening to that voice. Listen to my voice. Listen to the voice that's louder than you. I believe in you. Let that be it. I believe in you. Listen to this voice until you make it your own voice. I had that thought the other day.
But I'm gonna say we're all human beings though, man. Like even people who are like heavy content creators, they always talk about you can have 1 billion positive comments, but those negative comments will just absolutely run through. Those people know nothing about you. They don't know anything about you. They don't know your life, none of that stuff. But for some reason, it just sits on you, and you just be like, "What is that? Like, why is this a one thing more?" like louder than all the positive things, but we got to kind of like, you got to hit a reset a little bit. If you feel like you're getting too negative, you have to hit a reset and just really kind of like clear it out. Like, okay, where's all the negative stuff coming from? Do I do less of something that is feeding into the negativity and then do more stuff that's feeding into the positivity? Like sometimes it's like a lifestyle reset. You got to like detox.
Step away, do whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm. Man, put your toes in the sand, hike, do a little mountain trip. I like getting in a cabin, smelling that fresh mountain air. I'm not much of a beach girl, but I'm gonna try the beach. I have been attempting. People be telling me like, it's peaceful. You gotta do everything at the beach.
I love the ocean.
You could do little things.
First comes the earthquake, then comes the tsunami.
We were just talking about that the last episode.
Yeah, we really were. Man, that's full circle again. Anyway, everything always ends up connecting, y'all. We did it on purpose.
Look,
we did it on purpose.
Like I said, it's all connected. It's all connected by that red little string that the police be using. Going off the whole trust and everything. What helps you build your trust? Oh, what's your question?
That's good too. Because I think it go right. Mine was going to be, how do you know when you've trusted someone? That kind of go hand in hand. How do you build trust? They do. Time plus or times loyalty? Because most things, trust comes from trauma bonding a little bit in the world. But most times it can just be like, hey, we've been friends for so long, or you know what, I feel like I just can count on you, depend on you for a circumstance that came up. Building trust just takes a lot more. Should I say, wow, there's not, I wish I could describe it more, because you don't always have to have a friend that you trust. It can be a coworker, your boss, somebody that you can know to get a job done, unless we're like talking specifically interpersonal. But sometimes it just takes that one chance, and it can go either way. But you really just depend on someone for that one thing, or it can just slip away and then it can never. But Julie, I see you back.
I thought about this. This is a special one because I actually had a quote for this one too. In order to trust someone, you need to risk it all. And then when you lose said trust, trust is the byproduct of risk. That's how that begins. It's trust is the byproduct of risk. And when you lose trust, you have to risk it all to earn trust back.
No, that's deep, because that's exactly what I was thinking too. I was like, honestly, that's one of my bigger lessons that I learned this past year was you're never gonna fully trust anybody if you don't give them opportunities to show them, to give them something that you're so vulnerable. Like, now I have to trust you. And if you let me fall, then I know I can't trust you.
Because think how any of your friends become your friends. They were strangers first. But over time, you had to risk them. Like, all right, I'm going to tell you this. Well, let's see how we go from here.
Yeah. And that's tough, though, because I also realized that I'm not like, oh, my gosh, It's about to get really, real deep.
Well, let's get it. Let's get into it.
I feel like I'm not like really vulnerable. And it's funny because I think some people would think that at a certain point in my life, if they don't know me as well. And then like as you get to know me, you're like, I know very little about her. And then I have to be like, oh yeah, I have to remember, like I have to open up to people so I can actually have like full deep relationships so they actually know me. Cause like there was like a point where I was just like really upset because I was like, I don't feel like anybody knows me. And I'm like, I don't feel that way because I don't give people a chance to know me. So, because I'm nervous that they're gonna just, I'm like, I feel like I trust everybody trusts me with their vulnerability, and I don't let them see that side of me. So I can also feel like I have somebody that I can trust and like lean on at the end of the day. So that's really hard. So, that's another thing. Like if you feel this is for anybody, honestly, out there, y'all. If you feel like that, you getting in that moment, it's like you really gotta think, am I giving these people the opportunity to show me that I can trust them, even though I know I can trust them? What am I doing myself to really be open and like available? I can lean on people, and then now once you lean on them before, you can lean on them again, and it feels better because now you both trusted each other, and that just makes the relationship that much better.
Very true. Very true. You said that, and all I can think is the song "We All Need Somebody to Lean On." On this subject, this is just something else. What would it take for someone to break your trust?
Boy.
I know Keyon got a list. Bro.
I'll say my number one thing, because if you tell me, you just honest with me, I can work with just you betray me. That's it. I can't go from there. I can't. I literally, if you say one thing and don't do it, if you betray me when we're supposed to, I cannot trust you. It's just, if I gave you it before and you just throw it away, that betrayal, it's over. It's gonna take a while for me to come back. And if I even choose to, because remember, it is y'all's choice in life to bring somebody back into your life momentarily, but if you need, but take your time. Betrayal is different. What about y'all?
Tyler?
I'm like really forgiving. So it's like even if you lose my trust, it's probably not that hard again. But let me not say that. Now hold on, wait, because I gotta think about this a little bit. Because it takes a lot for me to lose trust in people, but for me it's a consistent pattern of untrustworthiness. Like if you do something like on a one-off and like you can explain it and it's cool or whatever, but after like the third, fourth time, I'm starting to feel like, this is just something that's fundamental that I can't trust within you to do, or I can't trust you to act like, or anything like that, then at that point that can't be gained back, because it's not to me. I lose trust in people when I feel like it's something that they can't grow past, that I can't accept, basically. Like that makes me lose trust, I guess. It's like when I see it and I know it and it's becoming a pattern to this point that I can't trust you to make that decision, not even just for me, but for like the betterment of your own self. I can't trust it no more. So then to me, it's hard to gain it back, because it's something within them that I've seen as a pattern, and the patterns are hard to break. So if you come back and say like a week later, oh, you can trust that I'm not going to do that anymore, I can't trust that, because no, I don't know that you can break a whole pattern in a week. Like it takes a lot of time, because I need to know being sincere and actually sincerely thinking about this and all, and then in turn not doing it just for me but for yourself, so I can trust that you just want to do that for you, so it's a transformative thing, like not something that feels more performative. I guess that's my thing.
I get that. I truly get that. For me, I'm with you in the same sense of where I'm forgiving to a large degree, because I'm like, yeah, no, I can work past this. Like I'm not going to leave anyone who I considered a friend at any moment in time just to leave them hanging. But there's a caveat to that. because I need to know that it eventually will be reciprocated. But to answer the question, I think the thing that loses my trust the fastest is a lack of communication. That is by far the fastest way for me to like, all right, I'm not talking to you again, because again, 2023, the redacted year, I cut off 2 people for this. One not as severe as the other. Talking to someone, and it just came to my realization, like, you only talk to me when you want something from me. So I'm like, I still wish you the best. You can still talk to me, whatever. I will help you out as much as I can, but going forward, I'm just not going to talk to you. Like, you have to reach out to me. And then the other thing was, if you heard past episodes, how I mentioned me giving being part of a co-signer for a friend. There was like slight issues before that. That one brought things into the light, but it was a lack of communication. I felt disrespected. Yeah. To where I'm like, I'm not dealing with this anymore, because still not getting into it fully. But do the co-signing thing, cool. Ask information about the car. We catch up. Oh, go person. Basically, I can't get a hold of this person whatsoever, to the point where I had to email this person. Right. I have sent to them multiple texts, multiple calls. I even called their brother. No response. Couldn't get to the brother, but that's not even your brother's fault. Finally get to this, get a hold of this person. It's like, oh, I saw your email. Why am I now just finding this out? I'm like, I've been trying to get in contact with you for the past 2 months, but I let that one go. Like, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But he's like, oh yeah, if you just talk to me through email, I will respond and everything, right? Yeah, no. So I'm like, oh, and even before this, I'm like, oh, how? Let's catch up and everything. I'm cool. But what ends up happening is, once we figured things out and whatnot, I email again and like, hey, this is this information. This person had 3 emails. I don't even know which one was the real one, but I'm like, let me send respond to all 3 of them, so you have this message. No response. I do it again. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with this person. I'm not dealing with this anymore, because I've already told you. I already told them that I'm losing trust in you, because every time I'm like, I needed you for something, or if I just wanted to talk, you wouldn't be in sight. But when you reach out to me, I'm always there on the spot. And I'm like, no, I can't keep doing this. So, yeah, that is, and yeah, that's why the fastest way to lose my trust. Disrespect and lack of communication. And
I feel like, yeah, disrespect is big. Disrespect is big.
And like I said, I will give you all the paths to get to me. Like, I'm not going to just say, oh, I'm not speaking to you, so you have to figure it out. No, I will tell you how to get to me, because I'm willing to work on it. But are you willing to do the same?
I feel like it's stuff where, like, you can't even imagine doing that thing to that other person, to the point that you disrespected me in a whole new way I wouldn't even thought was disrespectful. Just like, now I gotta bring up new levels, and I'm like, that's when I'm like, wow, that's tough. I gotta go.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of my 2023 right now. This is kind of crazy.
I already knew coming in when I heard the question. I was like, we're getting deep. I don't even know.
Yeah, this would be a good one.
This is but again, I enjoy it. You got anything else to say? Any thoughts? Anything?
Find the trust in yourself to find the trust in others.
Tyler, you got anything else to say? I think I said a lot today.
I'm a quote a person.
You doing the thing right now? You doing the thing?
No,
right now?
not the thing.
Okay, I was about to say. I'm like, now we got a little bit more time. We got all right.
No. But that was it makes me think of our friend Anthony. When they show you who they are, believe them. Anthony does that all the time. I'm pretty sure my Angelo said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So shout out to her, but also shout out to Anthony for always bringing it up, because it's funny how he does it is very funny. But yeah, I felt like that was appropriate.
Thank you. But like I said, I think I shared a lot.
Revolution will not be televised. I'm
Oh
sorry.
Lord,
What
here it
It
goes.
will be televised. What you talking about? It will be televised.
were you saying?
What I was saying, is there any social media things you want to shout out? Social media, anything you want to
Not
give
at all.
the
If you see me in person and you're just like, for some reason, like I want to that dude I saw on that podcast. I'm gonna say anything. Fucking do it. I'll fuck just say hey, what's up. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. Don't be weird
Be
about it.
weird. Be weird about
If
it.
you're gonna be weird, be the weird that like we can still talk and have a conversation.
Yeah, you need to pass him in the street, like, is that him?
ask yourself, can I trust you? Can I trust you right now?
Someone behind a potted plant looking at you through a window. That's what they about to do to you.
Go donate
Tyler.
blood. That's why I'm almost go donate blood. We're in an emergency session right now. If you are O positive, donate. Get a passport for whenever
gotta
you
go to
can. Eat your vegetables. And I don't mean just things that just happen to have certain vegetables on them. Eat vegetables. Go out of your way to eat vegetables. Go outside if you can.
An hour a day, at least an hour a day.
At least an hour a day.
I don't
Go
even be
get
doing
like,
that.
a checkup with a doctor if you are able to. Some places do free checkups too, to see what's going on with your body. That means like across the board healthcare. So yeah, take care of yourself, kind of people, and most importantly yourself.
I'm clapping it up. I did too many loud claps. I just know we're gonna have to put like something at the beginning, like, "Hey, I'm sorry, there's some loud clapping in this."
Hopefully, Buzzsprout will fix that. Hopefully,
Oh yeah,
hopefully
shout out to
they fix it.
Buzzsprout for fixing the claps.
Next time, if y'all have me in here one more time though, my setup's gonna be different. Like I'm hooking up my camera to this thing so it can see me. I'm getting cinematic because this is what I'm
Got
usually
you.
doing.
Got you.
Yeah, I'll probably get a
you-
ring light at some point.
At some point, but this is why we need people to support the Patreon so we can,
Yeah.
get better all over time.
See our pearly whites, but like an HD, so it doesn't look ridiculous.
Look, you'll see my pearly lights in the dark. I promise you that.
This man is silly. He said he'd be using them 4D whitening strips. I felt that though.
Not even. This is all natural.
Oh, my bad.
But Tyler, you had a thing.
I do, and my phone is still alive.
I told you it was gonna make it.
That's crazy. All right, guys. My little quote for our episode today is, you do need mentors, but in the end, you really just need to believe in yourself. Diana Ross.
I like that.
We like it.
But yes, Keyon, thank you for being here. You're welcome back all the time. If you just say the word, you can be on the episode.
Always here. Just let me know. I got a quote too, just because it might as well. Tyler did one. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Oscar Wilde. There we go. Good night, everybody.
With that being said, don't forget to ask yourself, ask others, and never stop asking questions. See you.
Bye.